How would you describe Grandi Langhe?
It's an incredible opportunity to taste some of the best wines being produced in Piedmont and a chance to really get to know the producers because they're here behind their counters. And it's a chance to really go in depth, especially if you like Barolo. You can really start to discover, well, what does Monforte di Alba offer that's different than Serralunga di Alba? You can find new varieties here, Pelaverga, Freisa, Ruchè. You can discover old loves or rediscover old loves like Barbera and Dolcetto. It's a great venue. Turin is a fantastic city. That wasn't one sentence, I'm sorry.
Yes, it's fine.
There's a lot here. It's a great show.
From the heart of Grandi Langhe, real conversations captured on site. Presented with the media partnership of the Italian Wine Podcast.
Bentornati, Grandi Langhe 2026, day 2. And our guest is Laura DePasquale, Master Somm.
Yep.
Master of Somm or Master Somm? MS.
Master Somm. MS.
Master Somm.
Yep.
When were you acclimated as the Master Somm?
So I passed, I can't believe it, but in 2004 in London.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's been
More
a
than
long
20
time.
years ago.
It's been a long time, yeah. Yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you.
You know? And so listen, you wear different hats other than being a Master Somm.
Yep.
When I think of you, I'm like Southern.
Yep.
Right? So tell our audience a little bit about yourself and what you do on behalf of Southern.
Sure. So I work for Southern Glazer Wine and Spirits, which is the largest distributor in the United States. I'm the Senior Vice President for Fine and Artisanal Wines, and I've been with them for 10 years. I started a division in Florida as a pilot of boutique and artisanal wines, working with producers and importers that would not necessarily consider working with Southern because we're big and we do a lot of spirits. And the pilot was in Florida. It proved to be a success. It's called...
I remember that actually when you started.
Yep. We used to call it artisanal fine wines.
Yes, I remember that.
Yep. And so then right after COVID, I was tasked with seeing if we could scale it to another state. So we moved it to Texas. But before we did that, we did a lot of surveys with customers and suppliers from around the country and around the world to say, hey, what do we do well as a big company? What do we do not so well as a big company? And for fine boutique and artisanal wines, what would you like to see somebody do? And so that's really what informed our strategy. We changed the name because one of the things that came back was that Southern had a lot of names for a lot of things and we were very confusing. So we now call it Domain and Estates. And we chose Texas as our test market to see if we could do it again. We did, and so now we have 6 Domain and Estates in the major markets. So Washington State, California, New York, Texas, Florida, and the new baby, which is Boston, Massachusetts.
So how do they differ? Are they like divisions?
Yep. So they're selling divisions with their own sales force and with a unique portfolio. And what we did was when we started working on the strategy, you know, it always bothered me my entire career. You would walk up to 10 people that know about wine and say, what is fine wine? And you would get 10 answers. Mm-hmm. And they were all good answers, but they were all different. So, you know, I said, look, we're the largest distributor in the United States. Why don't we define what we mean? So we decided to look at, of course, quality, legacy, terroir, family-owned, for fine wine, but we also looked at production or availability into the United States. So if you were producing or making available to the United States 20,000 9-liter cases or less, we call you artisanal. And that's really the types of wines.
Can you repeat that again?
Yep. 20,000 9-liter cases or less, either produced or made available to the United States. You're artisanal, and so you would be in my division.
So how many wineries are there? Give me a number. Just give me a number.
We work with thousands of wineries because this is international. So we're working with everything from domestic California, Washington, Oregon, New York State wines, to Italian wines, of course, French wines, Spanish wines, Germany, Austria, South America. We're working with wines from the entire
worldwide.
world. Yeah.
So how significant is Italy in in the grand scheme of things?
So I really focused on imports from the very beginning, particularly Italy, because part of our approach to the market, to the actual trade, our end user, the sommelier in the restaurant or the retailer in the boutique wine store, is really about discovery and through education. And so what country offers more opportunities for discovering new grapes, new types of wines, new regions than Italy? There isn't one. So Italy is a big portion of our portfolio. I should also say too that we are very opportunistic. We may not represent every wine in every state.
Okay, so these 7 divisions, not every wine, you don't have the same catalog per se.
No. And we try to curate to the state. So for example, in Florida, we're always going to sell more Spanish wine, just based on the demographic. In Washington State, we're always going to sell more Washington wine than California wine, based on what the consumer is asking us for. So we really try to be very curatorial in how we select the portfolio.
So how big is your team, the Domain Estates team?
Yeah, so there's 50 people, give or take, that work for Domain and Estates in some capacity. And that doesn't include all of the
agents.
Well, not just the agents. It doesn't include all the what we call the back of the house stuff. So the reason why I brought this concept to Southern Glazers, such a really big company, was because really what runs distribution in the United States, especially in major markets that are geographically challenging, like Florida, like Texas, like California, is logistics, right? So we have the capacity and the financial capital to be able to pick up 28 cases, 14 cases from Barolo, from Val d'Aosta, from
So even
Puglia.
in small quantities?
Yeah, yep. Because we always have containers moving back and forth. And we service the most amount of customers in the United States. So we can always get 3 bottles or 6 bottles to that customer in some obscure area in Texas, because at some point we're delivering something to them. And so it really was about capitalizing on the logistics of a big company and the financial resources of a big company and the technology of a big company to be able to bring unusual wines to the market.
So, you know, it sounds so massive. You have 50 member team, but it sounds so much bigger than it is, right?
Yep.
So describe to me your typical work week.
Oh, well, my typical work week, I could be anywhere. I travel a lot. So I could be in one of the markets doing a master class. I could be meeting with a winery that is visiting, doing a market work with. I could be meeting with an importer. Our home headquarter is Miami, so the fact that I live there helps.
Right.
I could be here in Torino meeting with some of our wineries that we direct import or work with an agency importer through tasting the new vintages, or I could be looking for new stuff. You never know.
Okay. So, Laura.
Yes.
Do you speak Italian?
Some. Some.
Laura DePasquale. You know, she is Italian of origin. So, if you can say in one sentence, Grandi Langhe,
Sì.
to someone who's never been,
Yeah.
how would you describe Grandi Langhe?
It's an incredible opportunity to taste some of the best wines being produced in Piedmont, and a chance to really get to know the producers because they're here behind their counters. And it's a chance to really go in depth, especially if you like Barolo. You can really start to discover, well, what does Monforte di Alba offer that's different than Serralunga di Alba? You can find new varieties here, Pelaverga, Freisa, Ruchè. You can discover old loves or rediscover old loves like Barbera and Dolcetto. It's a great venue. Turin is a fantastic city. That wasn't one sentence, I'm sorry.
Yes, no, it's fine.
There's a lot here. It's a great show.
So listen, Domain and Estates.
Yes.
How was business 2025?
So it's been a tough year, tough 2 years really. 2024 and 2025, we really saw a shift in the market. And because I work for such a large company, I get tons of information, and it's a little intimidating sometimes. So the market was down. Spirits were down, big wine was down, California wine was down. I have to say, knock wood, heart to all my customers, Domain and Estates was up. We were up in both volume.
In 25? Wow.
In
That's
both
impressive.
volume and dollars. Yeah.
And what about 26? What do you think will happen in 26?
So I think that, we're still in a very uncertain time in the United States. We keep hearing all these threats about tariffs. We're waiting for the Supreme Court decision on whether these are legal or not. Every day we hear it's going to come out. We're still waiting. What I see that's starting very different is in 2025, as the threat of tariff was there, we were all paralyzed. Our buyers were paralyzed,
Right.
We were paralyzed, and so we saw a real decline. Once we knew what was happening, we just said, let's go. Let's just move forward. This is the reality. This is our new reality. And we had a good year. So far, 2026 is starting out okay. It's actually up.
Despite the low dollar.
Yep.
Low dollar. Economic downturn.
Yep. But so far, again, we're going against soft numbers from 2025.
Right.
So it looks good, but it's really too soon to say.
So listen, just before we close, last thing, right? If you were to give one advice to a producer, Piemonte producer, coming to stateside in these challenging times, what would it be?
Be authentic. Be genuinely who you are. Know your story. Our buyer today is not so interested in the barrels and the blends, if you're blending. I know in Piemonte we don't do a lot of blending, but really know your story. Tell the story of the history of your winery, why your winery is important, and what your future plan is.
Okay, well, thank you so much for
My
joining
pleasure.
us. Laura DePasquale, Master Somm, and she is the Senior Vice President for Domain and Estates of a division of Southern Glazer. And it's a wrap. Ciao ragazzi.
Progetto finanziato con lo sviluppo rurale Piemonte 2023-2027. Intervento SRG10 promozione dei prodotti di qualità. Regione.piemonte.it Sviluppo rurale. Si invita al consumo responsabile delle bevande alcoliche.